Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Mr. West's Neck of the Woods. I'm very fortunate to be able to work with some amazing people. And a couple of months ago, one of the ladies that I work for, Mrs. Campbell, uh, found herself in Denver. And the rest of the crew decided that we wanted to surprise her with a visit. And so myself and two other ladies that I work with, Miss Brown and Miss Bandelos, we got together and decided, hey, let's take a road trip, go down to Denver and surprise Mrs. Campbell. And so we kind of got to talking and planning, and Miss Brown decided that, hey, I'll provide transportation. Her vehicle was roadworthy enough and felt like that it would make the trip. And so we all chipped in for fuel and food and everything, and so we made a trip of it. So we got all the way almost to Cheyenne. We broke down about 10 miles outside of Chugwater here in Wyoming, and so we kind of looked at each other and decided that all three of us would walk and try to find help, try to find someone that could help diagnose what was wrong with the vehicle. Maybe they could fix it, and we could get on our way. And so we walked, and we didn't walk very long. It wasn't that long, and we came across a farm. And so we all went up to the door, knocked on the door, and nicest guy that you'd ever want to meet answered the door. And we told him what our trouble was, and he said, "Hey, hop in." He drove back out to the interstate, took a look at the vehicle, found out what was wrong with it, and called there into Chugwater. They would have to order the parts from Cheyenne. Said they would have them in the morning and would be able to fix the car, and then we could be on our way. And so the farmer told us, "Hey, since it's going to be tomorrow, um, why don't you guys spend the night with me at my farm?" And so we all three kind of looked at each other, and I mean, we appreciated it. Like I said, nicest guy we ever want to meet, and so we said sure. And so we got back to the house, and he said the only problem that I only have two extra rooms, and so one of you will have to sleep in the barn. Well, Miss Brown felt responsible, and I told both myself and Miss Bandelos said it didn't break, the breaking down wasn't your fault. And but she felt responsible, and she said, I'll take the barn. You two guys, you can stay in the house. Well, being an old guy as I am, I'm never going to turn down a bed, so I eagerly accepted. Let Miss Brown go out into the barn. So anyway, we all said goodnight and went to bed. Then about 5 minutes, there was a knock on the door. Everybody kind of stirred. The farmer went to the door. We were all kind of out looking like, wonder what's up. And it was Miss Brown. And she said, "Oh, I feel so bad. I am so sorry. But there's a cow in the barn." And she said, "I cannot spend the night in that barn with a cow." Well, quickly, Miss Bandelos pipes up and says, "You know what? I don't mind. I grew up out, I grew up out in the country. We had lots of cows out there. I can handle it. No big deal. Miss Brown, you come in, you take my room. I'll take the barn." Again, I felt bad, but I am old, and beds are so comfortable. So I just kept my mouth closed, and Miss Bandelos went out to the barn. We all went to bed. And sure enough, about 5 minutes later, there was a knock on the door. Farmer answers the door. We're all kind of paying attention. What in the world? And sure enough, it was Miss Bandelos. And she said, "There is a cow, no problem, but they're pigs. There are pigs in the barn." And she said, "I cannot sleep in the barn with pigs. I just can't. You know, there it's just an issue that I have." Anyway, Mr. West being the guy that he is, I graciously gave up my spot. And I said, Miss Bandelos, you come in, you take the room that I was staying in. A cow, pigs, I'll I can handle it. I'll go out into the barn. So the farmer said, everybody good? Everybody was good. And so I went to the barn. Ladies went to the room. Farmer went to his room. Doors locked. Lights shut off. We all went to sleep. You guessed it. 5 minutes later, there was a knock on the door. So everybody came to the door. What happened that Mr. West can't stay in the barn? Anyway, the farmer went and opened up the door. It was the cow and the pig. And guys, as always, peace out from the West.